Patient name, Carter Lath. Age, 23. Test results, NECROMANCY. The art of communicating with the dead in order to predict future events. Date signed, 2/29/2020. The majority of the footage appears to have been damaged by the elements. Large portions of what's still visible is an amalgam of 2 females and 1 male partying in a remote wooded location. Those present have been identified as Michael Davis, Heather Jameson, and the patient in question, Lath Carter. Much of it is plagued by extremely shaky camera work to a nauseating degree. We've highlighted one section in particular that we believe will provide proof you have requested. Signed, Agent R.
Video transcript. 2 females and 1 male are sitting around a campfire in the early evening. They've clearly been drinking and are currently passing around a marijuana cigarette.
You can't be serious, Leth.
Dead serious.
So we've downgraded ourselves to bad puns now.
I think you're full of shit. Prove it.
Take a look around, genius. No dead bodies, no show.
Come on, guys. This is seriously freaking me out. Can't we change the subject?
Come the fuck on, Heather. Our best friend is telling us that dead people tell her the future, and you're not in the least bit curious?
Heather removes the cross she has on a chain around her neck from her shirt and rubs it as she speaks.
Honestly, kind of. But there's just some things better left alone.
It's not like I asked for this, you know.
How did you even find out you could do it?
Remember when we all volunteered at that nursing home last year to get some of our clinical hours finished?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Mrs. Emmons died?
I'll never forget that day. I've never seen someone so peaceful in death before.
That's because I helped her move on.
How?
Lath shrugs and takes a longer than usual drag of the marijuana cigarette. She coughs so hard she appears to nearly vomit before passing it on.
I don't know how it works, really. She was out of her mind in pain and just kept screaming nonsense. I put a hand on her shoulder and she just stopped and stared at me. It was like she forgot who she was and what was going on. Then she died with her eyes open, just staring at me.
Oh, what does that have to do with telling the future?
I'm getting to that, Michael. Calm your tits.
Oh, my tits!
So...
Lath removes a small magenta notebook from a small bag next to her chair and hands it to Michael. He flips it open and appears to study the contents.
After she died, I didn't know what to do. I just kind of froze and said her name out loud. The next thing I knew, she was standing next to me, or at least a version of her was. Meanwhile, her body was still lying there staring at me from the bed.
If that happened to me, I would have run out screaming and never came back.
Anyway, Mrs. Emmons thanked me for helping her move on and told me she wanted to give me something in return. She told me there was a fake rock in her back garden that held a key to get into her house. She had a floor safe that once belonged to her late husband underneath a huge rug in her sewing room.
Whoa. Hold up a minute. You're saying her ghost or whatever was giving you this information?
Lath shrugs, seeming uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess so. She even gave me the combination. Before her ghost or whatever disappeared, she also told me that 2 of my closest friends would die a terrible death.
The usual doom and gloom you come to expect from fortune tellers. Man, I would not take it seriously if I were you.
Wait, so what happened with the safe?
Honestly, I expected it all to be a bunch of bullshit. Just stress hallucinations or something. Just to prove to myself that something insane really hadn't just happened, I went to Mrs. Emmons' house after my shift was over. The key was there, just like she described it. The safe was too. And inside the safe was a bunch of old stock certificates and war bonds.
Holy shit! Left! You're probably sitting on some serious fucking money.
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't really checked them out too much. I still feel kind of weird about having them in the first place.
Is now a good time to mention the $1 million you owe me?
No shit.
They all laugh for a few minutes. Michael appears to study the notebook.
Oh. This is fucking... It's really hard to read, but this is fucking weird as shit. What exactly is this? There's some pretty strange stuff in here.
These are all the predictions that I've gotten from the dead.
Please, tell me you really don't believe that.
Some of them have come true.
Is that why some of them are underlined?
Yeah, I underlined the ones that I can prove have actually happened.
Why are all these predictions of such terrible fucking things?
No idea.
The footage is too corrupted to view shortly after this. A later scene shows Michael cooking eggs and bacon over an open fire, but the sound is too warped to comprehend. Signed, Agent R. The final piece of footage is perhaps the most disturbing thing we've witnessed in the field so far. Signed, Agent R.
Despite the clear corruption of the video, Lath appears to be standing over a sleeping Michael and Heather.
I have to know. I have to know. I have to know.
What are you...
What the fuck? What the fuck did you just do? No,
This
what the
is
fuck is
important.
going on?
I have to know,
what
Michael.
What the fuck have you done, Left? No!
Heather!
What?
Are you with
What
us?
the fuck?
As Michael stands and lunges towards Lath, he appears to stop in his tracks and looks to Heather's body. A grainy image of Heather appears standing over her own body.
You have a message for me.
3 months from now, Michael will be arrested and found guilty of 8 cases of sexual assault against patients.
No, that's fucking impossible. This isn't fucking happening.
Lath turns to Michael, suddenly brandishing a gun.
It's not happening. Oh my fucking god, what
I
the
think we
fuck?
all knew what you were doing, Michael, but none of us wanted to believe it.
I haven't done anything, Left. Put the fucking gun away!
The dead never lie, Michael! Never!
No.
Lath fires the gun 5 times. Of the bullets fired, only 2 appear to strike Michael, one in his left cheek and the other in his right eye socket.
I managed to find the magenta notebook and the mostly destroyed camcorder in a grave pit that also contained the bodies of both Heather Jameson and Michael Davis. According to the records, there was an open case against Michael Davis involving the sexual assault of 5 patients that was dropped after this disappearance. I believe that means the other 3 incidents mentioned had yet to occur. Signed, Agent R. Upon further investigation, I managed to track down the whereabouts of Lath Carter. She appears to have done quite well for herself, presumably due to the small fortune left to her from one Edith Emmons. According to medical records, she appears to be suffering from a combination of both severe PTSD and agoraphobia. Reports indicate that she hasn't left her home in nearly 3 years. Please advise how you wish me to proceed. Signed, Agent R.